Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here, and it's time to unleash the monkey! In 1968, a movie came out that told a story of a man who came back from his space mission and landed on a planet that was governed by gigantic walking, talking apes that were oppressing and torturing the humans around him. 4 sequels and a terrible remake later, all of a sudden this year in 2011, a movie comes out of nowhere. Not a remake, not a sequel, but in fact, a very first prequel about one of the greatest cult classics in science fiction history. Of course, I'm talking about Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Now, I unfortunately saw the wrong one first. I went to see the Tim Burton 2001 remake of the 1968 film, and I gotta tell you that I really regret the fact that I saw it. I really should have went out to see the one from 1968. Because of that, I really didn't have any anticipation for this specific movie. Like, I found out about it in, I'd say maybe late May. But then I take a look at the trailer, and all of a sudden I see James Franco, John Lithgow. It talks about the story that had plagued these fans for years, like how exactly did the apes take over the planet? So, you know what? I went to go see it. And what can I say about this movie? Wow! This is definitely one of the most unexpected movies that I saw this year. Probably even more unexpected than Horrible Bosses. Forget the fact that this movie was based around a 1968 science fiction cult classic. Forget the fact that there was a terrible recreation done in 2001. This movie was just an all-around great movie. The story, rich in detail, so much emotion going through every single scene, from the action to the drama to the sympathy and emotion between this. By the way, there are some spoilers in this video, so if you just want to see the verdict, turn the video off now. As I was saying, the relationship between this doctor that was trying to find the cure for Alzheimer's disease and this baby ape that was unfortunately given up because his mother was killed in a lab accident. The rapport between these characters was just beautiful, and the rapport with their other human and, dare I say, ape counterparts. Another thing that blows my mind is the special effects. Weta Digital, who did Lord of the Rings, gave us a movie for the very first time. There are no people in costumes. These are 100% digital characters, and it's just amazing to find out that all of these apes were given so much heart and so much feeling and so much realism to them. You would never guess at certain points that these monkeys were fake. Not just fake, they weren't even there. Great acting. James Franco, fantastic. John Lithgow, fantastic. Brian Cox, Tom Felton. Finally, someone from the cast of the Harry Potter kids decides to break out, and you know something? There were some people that said he really didn't add much to this movie, but what I liked was he took that badassdom of Draco Malfoy and actually gave it a little bit of an umph, and I really enjoyed him as the badass. This movie pays a wonderful tribute to its films that came before it. Not the 2001 Tim Burton one. Crap! But the 1968 film and the 4 sequels that came after them throughout the 70s, it just did these films justice. It gave it a great backstory, a great answer to the questions as to how this all happened, and even a couple of things that linked to the movies, like some names that were thrown out, and the story of a mission to Mars, which was in fact the beginning of the very first Planet of the Apes. Negatives? I don't see anything wrong with this movie. Forget the fact that it's science fiction. If you don't like science fiction, and you don't like fantasy, and you don't see this movie, you're making a terrible mistake. Because forget the fact that it's science fiction. It's just a well-rounded, well-developed, well-executed movie. So if you want to see a great movie, go see Rise of the Planet of the Apes. The negative I have to say, though, is I wish that Charlton Heston and Roddy McDowall were alive to see this movie made. they would have probably felt so glad to know that just this unknown director decides to put a staff together, get the right guys for the job, and say, let's make a good Planet of the Apes movie. My verdict on this movie is 4 out of 4. Great movie, the biggest surprise that I've seen this summer, definitely one of the best movies that I've seen this year. Comment, like, and subscribe, guys, and the question that I want to leave with you today is, now that we have a great modern-day prequel of this science fiction classic, do you think that we should just leave it the way it is, because you could, or do you think we should see remakes of all 5 Planet of the Apes movies just for a whole new generation to enjoy? I'm the Lawn Gnome, and remember that actions speak louder than words.